So I'm Max Semenchuk, me, team, Ion. We work in DGOV Foundation. More people to come, Anya and Ella. We work together. I'm an organizational geek, so I like everything about organization. I do everything like in an organized way. I'm from Kiev, and I like to tap on many things at once. Currently I'm working at like 7 teams now. So that's a small fact about me. And what are we going to do today is, as we want to build this DGOV network to amplify the ecosystem, to share more information between each other, between our nodes, probably run more experiments and allow more collaboration. That's all for building better organizations in the end. So we will be have a lot of cohesion as a humanity and won't have this tragedy of commons. So this picture is used in the every second presentation on blockchains, but I wanted to show you how it really looks like in our organization, like in our network. So we tried to map all of this stuff, and we already see that it looks more like the third one, the distributed one, which is kind of cool. This is it should be tiny for you, but the link is in our DGOV group and on our DGOV the foundation website if you'd be interested to see. And this is the start of the work, but we want to see even more connection between different parts. So for example, we have these guys totally separate, not working with most of those guys. So we want to see this collaboration we want to be the platform where people come and talk as these 3 days would be all about that. So in the context, this event is another step we make. We started all of this with this dream of distributed governance conference. We wanted to launch last year for 600 people. We got so many enthusiasm. We were like, yeah, let's do that. But it wasn't that easy as we expected, and we probably made some mistakes. So we learned from that, and we decided to go more linear and smaller. We did around 20 meetups, started from small meetups around conferences like DEF CON, and then we did a pretty big Berlin Council made by team, which was a huge success for us, and then assembly at Paris, and now we're here at DGOV, and we're still gonna do this conference sooner or later. And before I go deeper into agenda, I want to give out some credits to the people, to all the team that supported this. So it kind of looks small, but for us, as we got this conference idea in mind, we really tried to do it the full conference for 20 people. And without their support, Phoebe, Ella, team, Ia, and Anya, it wouldn't be possible because they helped a lot through all of that. Thanks to Lindsay and John from Web3 for asking us to come. That's a great opportunity for us. Big thanks for Aragon for the video recordings and support with tickets. That was pretty huge. Thanks to Martin for great recordings. We're looking forward to, even if it's just 20 of us, I hope this video will be viewed by many more. And also many more people outside of DGOV jumped and helped to do different panels and workshops. Thanks to all of them and the speakers who came, even when we didn't provide tickets. They just came to talk about that's a huge thing. So that's some of the faces who will be more than 30 speakers for next 3 days. And also want to thank you for your interest, and we need your help as well, because this is a collaboration space. So we'll have some panels if you would be keen to make some meeting notes and share because we won't have recordings for panels. We will have the Chatham House rules, where we just put some outcomes without attributing thoughts to specific people. If you hear some nice ideas or you want to share some nice slide, please put it on Twitter with the DGOV hashtag. Prepare good questions. Connect as more as you can. And also on the day 2 we will have a panel that is not pre-planned, so this is something we will situationally decide. So on the whiteboard behind me there are proposals for the topics, and we will vote, because who would be if we won't vote on our distributed governance thing. So this is what's expected from you. And quickly through the program. So each day has a bit of a topic itself. So the first day is more like a helicopter view about the law and philosophy and values. So we have slight changes. So we put Wheat Idlichka from Liberland to 11, but just after me and some words from team, we will have more of like crypto law part, where we have Ryan Nixon, a lawyer from MyCrypto, and Marina and Luke talking about the Aragon jurisdiction. And then we have a few more talks from the Ori about how to put DAO on the as a fully legal company, and Sarah and many more. Then we'll have 3 panels. One of the overall organizational design of DAOs, e-democracy, and identity panel. And by the way, thanks to Jordi, we will have he has his workshop on identity, and he decided to merge this with our panel. So we'll have a huge room and lots of people there talking about identity in DGOV. So finally, at 5 p.m. we will have a workshop provided by the DAO incubator. This is the incubator for DAOs, as you can understand. And they have this Cosmos Canvas framework, how they see what's the best way to develop DAOs. It's like business model canvas in a way, but for DAOs, as far as I imagine. And we will have tested on the DGOV seed DAO we want to build, and we're gonna see how it works. So that would help in building more DAOs, hopefully. And next day is mostly about the markets and incentives. So it starts from the really deep token engineering stuff, from block science and Tezos and Common Stack and Edgeware. Then we will have updates from the major DAOs and Metacartel, Moloch DAO, and Panvala about the funding the ecosystem with these funding DAOs. And we will have more from Radical X Foundation. We'll learn how consensus organizes itself with a really cool tool called Cone. It's terrific. And a bit more from Colony. Then we'll have a panel with all those DAO guys. We'll have this open slot for whatever we really feel we want to discuss. And then the Radical X Foundation panel about hardware attacks, quadratic voting, and radical markets. The workshops on the day 2 are from Vienna Institute. There's Shermin Workmir is a really cool expert writing a book on it. So they will present their study in the Vienna University on how they see that as the complete field of studies, basically. And we also have a funny money game with FibiTKL. Please prepare some money, but not too much, because the game can. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday workshops, so it's day 2, and finally the day 3 is about the soft governance. So it's usually not taking so much attention, but we see that without the proper soft governance, usually that doesn't work so good. And now it starts soft governance. Yeah, and the hard governance, the on-chain governance, we have tools for specific voting, but as we still have people, we need many more people-to-people protocols, how we can agree and so on. So Phoebe runs this day, so she asked some people who know a bit about the soft governance, ask her friends from, we have Ella from Supermarket and Grace talking about the DAO leadership. We have Lane from Ethereum, and few more guys like Luke and Livia and Stacko and Felipe who know about this topic and the moderation, facilitation, conflict resolution. Then we will have a panel on collaboration. One of the most interesting panel for me would be this at 3 p.m. on Wednesday about how DAO Stack, Aragon, Moloch DAO, and everybody else can collaborate. I'm really looking forward to learn how, really, and build this dialogue. And finally, we'll have some heated debate properly, like in the Ethereum governance. Finishing with Livia's workshop on the autonomy in decision making, and hopefully we will have some informal dinner or something to know each other better even more. So the agenda is a fluid thing, so we have printed out something there, but it changes almost, like it changed a lot. So feel free to follow this link. This leads to the forum where you have fully updated agenda, and also there's like important links there. It will help you a lot, I think. So I think if we have some like time difficulties, I'll just propose Tim to speak for another 10 minutes.
Before we start with the agenda at 11, I have like 6 minutes left, which I will try to use to share a little bit the motivation behind DGOV and why we do the work we do. Also speaking about where we currently stand, DGOV is a purely voluntary organizational structure right now. The main financial support we got from the community, from others, which see value in providing connection between major organizations and the shared problems they have. So DGOV stands for distributed governance, and it's the trial to find a way to make shared decision making without centralized parties, without representative structures. And this is required if we want to govern the commons. So one big problem is when we have the commons is how do we make decisions, in which direction we want to develop it. And we can't break free. One motivation came from the Web2 is centralized and it's controlled from surveillance companies. And many people were drawn in from the Web3 space with the idea to create a free web which belongs to the people, which re-empowers people. But how do we do that if we build infrastructure which is then again owned by a small group of people, where a lot of like influences over there? So the question is, how do we make shared decision making? How do we enable self-organization? How do we enable that to be more dynamic? How do we enable collaboration on a larger scale? So this is what DGOV is about. We try to work with new methods and with new languages. That's the reason why you see complex systems within the track. So the idea that we are all participants to try to coordinate in a way that we can use collective intelligence, that we have an emergence, so a new property in the governance systems, which allows us to make good decisions. But maybe before I continue with that, because of time, like 3 minutes, are there any questions regarding the mission? Maybe this is more helpful to answer those questions and give a little bit of a direction, what we want to do next and what our mission is. Any guiding questions you want to have answered? Like, do you want to? I think building a community which is able to live up to the promise to develop new governance systems which are based on self-organization. It's a task which is so hard that we don't believe that we can do that in a small group. That's the reason why we build a network, why we support the network, why we support the connectivity between all those different initiatives to allow for synergy effects, to hopefully come up with good solutions and to innovate concurrently so that we can innovate in parallel and share those experiences and insights with each other to accelerate a viable system design in this direction. Athens, the idea of Athens, Max already said it, is that we still have that conference. The idea that people from all over the world come together to show in Athens that a non-governmental organization can take responsibility, or a group can take responsibility for finding ways how we can govern ourselves. I think that's very important, that we take responsibility and not wait for others, organizations, that they came up or that they come up with the solution for the problems we have, but that we start to iterate in a grassroots, movement in that direction. So we had the DGOV Council. We are dedicated to have more events where we come together in a real world, like here, to get to know each other better. We strongly believe that the interpersonal relationship is necessary to build those networks and to allow broad collaboration. I think that's it.